Hi, welcome. I'd like to thank you for coming out today to hear a very important topic that is beginning to become, we're seeing a lot more of it. It's something that we all come in contact with at some point in our lives. It's our telephones. We deal with it every day. We have it with us pretty much 24/7. So I want to bring a little bit of attention to a concern, a growing concern. Today I want to talk to you about the dangers of using your cell phone while driving, the distractions that are involved with that. So I have a little clip that I'm gonna play for you, and I wanted to talk to you about the safety of our roads and distracted drivers. As we watch this clip, we're reminded of something we're seeing over and over again. So I just want to go ahead and play that for you. This is a very common video that we're seeing more and more on the news, and it's video of a bus driver. Actually, he ran into somebody in Houston, and there's actually more and more videos, and this is the one we actually hit. But this is something we're starting to see more and more. It's more common. People are wrecking because of distractions, and yeah, we've all been distracted while driving and almost had an accident. But if this is so, why are we not making changes? Why aren't we doing anything about these distractions? What's behind the distractions, and why should we care? Question is, what is distracted driving? Distracted driving is any activity that could divert a person's attention away from the primary task of driving. All distractions endanger the driver, the passenger, and bystanders. These types of distractions include, any ideas? Kind of have an audience participation? What are some distractions that you can have while you're driving? Oh, go ahead. Texting, great.
Drinking a Coca-Cola.
Drinking a Coca-Cola. Anybody else?
Answering the phone.
Answering the phone.
Playing music.
Playing music. The radio. Yeah, anything? No? Anybody else? Cameraman? We've all dealt with them. Those are all great things. What about grooming? Tweezing our eyebrows, putting on our mascara. I'm guilty. Reading. Looking at our Google Maps, trying to figure out how to get there. Watching a video, adjusting the radio, there's so many things that we're trying to do because I, for one, am the kind of person that when I'm driving, I need to be doing something else. I have to be actively listening to something or talking to someone, otherwise I get really bored and I feel like I'm wasting time. That's my personal issue. But there's three, I did a little bit of research on its website called distraction.gov, and they actually talk a lot about the distracted drivers. And they say there's three main distractions, and the first one is manual, the second one is visual, and the third is cognitive. So manual, obviously, means taking your hands off the wheel. Like we said, to use a radio, to pick up your phone, say you dropped it, I've done that. Visual is taking your eyes off the road, picturing the person, and cognitive is also taking your eyes off the road. You're thinking and you're looking. They say text messaging actually requires all three and is by far the most dangerous because when you text message, you actually have to picture the person, you're picturing the conversation, and often you have to take your hand off the wheel to text back. That is one of the most dangerous. At a red light, 73% of people glance at their phone, and 60% of people will actually send a text message. And this is not just at red lights, it happens all the time. Distraction.gov says that this is what happens at a stoplight. These are actual numbers. 73% of people, these are people who admit to glancing at their phone, and 60% of them will actually send a text message. I bet if I got everyone to raise their hand in the room, many of us have sent a text message at a red light. And you tell yourself, oh, it's just a red light. At any given daylight moment across America, approximately 660,000 drivers are using cell phones or manipulating electronic devices while driving. And this number has held steady since 2010. At any given moment, 660,000 people are on their cell phones in their cars. That's scary. So now we move on to our next point. We see all the facts. Okay, sure, we all know we're on our phones. It's obvious. But is it really dangerous? Is distracted driving, is it really so dangerous? I put up a couple pictures throughout the presentation just so you can see certain facts are actually out there. 75% of teens say that texting and driving is common among their friends. So you do the math. You got 4 pieces of pie. That's 3 pieces of those pies say that text messaging is common. So what does that mean? That it's just normal. It's a part of everyday life. You text while you drive. So why do people still do it if they know it's dangerous? Some people still don't know how dangerous it is. Others know, but they choose to do so anyway. We often think statistics don't apply to us. And some of us, we're busy. We lead busy lives. We feel like we need to take the time during our red light to email somebody back, or we just don't want to waste time. We forget and we choose not to shut off these devices when we're in the car. So how many of you, when was the last time you actually turned off your cell phone? Never, exactly. We don't turn off our phones because we need to stay connected all the time. These are just some statistics, it's hard to say, some statistics on texting and driving. So I want you to do this with me for a second. Close your eyes, everybody. Close your eyes. Don't open them, all right? Five seconds. That's the amount of time that the average person will look at their phone without looking at the road. In that amount of time, 55 miles per hour, you can open your eyes now, Jerry. In that amount of time, 55 miles per hour, you've driven the length of a football field with your eyes closed, not looking at the road. And that video that I showed earlier, that the bus driver had actually been texting for 6 minutes. 6 minutes total. He kind of glanced up every few minutes, and that's when he ran into head-on traffic. They say that you're 23 times more likely to get into an accident while texting. 23 times. Cell phone usage while driving delays the driver's reactions as much as having a blood alcohol concentration at the legal limit. So what does that mean? It's the same as driving drunk, basically, while you're texting and driving. 18% of fatality crashes are cell phone related. Fatality crashes, that's something that we don't really think about. 100,000 plus crashes a year involve drivers who are texting. So, why should you care? Why does it really matter? It's a very, very good question. We hear all the statistics, and it kind of doesn't hit you until you put yourself into the actual moment. But I want you to just watch this video with me, please. It's a very graphic, tense movie, video clip I wanted to show because I myself am very guilty of texting and driving because I don't like to waste time. But the truth of the matter is that distracted driving doesn't just affect you. It's not something that just you have to deal with. There's always a consequence when you're not paying attention. And we know that because many of the mistakes that we make in life happen from carelessness or not really thinking things through, and you are 23 times more likely to get into an accident when you're distracted as a driver. Like we see, that's 1.3 million crashes, if you want to put that into numbers. What I wanted to talk about from this point in the fact of laws, this is a little bit, this is the most up-to-date that we have in regards to laws for texting and driving or cell phone usage and driving. In the state of Florida in October, they did put a secondary law into place, which means that you can be given a ticket for texting, but only if you're pulled over for something else. So it's not an actual law that you don't have to text and drive. In many states, there's not. There's partial bans, and there's not a law against using your cell phones. It's actually state-based, so that's something that your state has to put into effect. So, my question for you today is, what can we do to make a difference? It's really to obviously stop texting, to pay attention. To pay attention. There's somewhere you can actually make a pledge. It's called itcanwait.com, and there's actually quite a few famous people who have made pledges, and you can do that as well. So in conclusion, let's take a moment to change a life forever. If we take the pledge, we can help our states to put more laws in place. Don't text and drive, because it does affect others, and you don't want to be that person that causes the fatality, and it can wait. So I hope that this has brought a little bit of light, and there's sources here if you'd like more information or if you have more questions. So thank you.